right, we can get this game started here. Here are our starting lineups. We've got Casper's Goals Roos playing the 3-4-1-2 Gegenpress with two defensive midfielders. And we've got the Madonka team playing a 4-5-1, two defensive midfielders, a very commonplace theme for the Key West team during the year. So we've got Madonka himself in the chat here. What were you thinking with this formation you got here?
Well, I think we were working on if it's not broken, don't fix. If it's not broken, don't bother trying to fix it. So I sort of tried to pick my players to pretty much somewhat match this formation. So I think it should be pretty good. I think is it defensive midfielders we've got? I thought we had two central midfielders rather than defensive. But other than that, I mean, we've got the players to do it. We've got the wingers. So this is the best formation for top wingers.
Yep. So we're off here. It's a full 90-minute sim here, guys. So hopefully you guys enjoy the action. We've got a good start here for Key West with some build up and almost a quick one right off the hop.
Oh, sorry, I just need to. My Twitch has gone down, so I'll just jump in. There you go. I can see what's happening now.
Yeah, if you have too much of a delay, we can throw up a screen share if you want, but
okay. Well, it's just plenty of passing limit from both teams. It's strange seeing Odder in the wrong colours, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a few guys who you didn't think would be in the Casper colors today.
Well, I tried to not just pick Key West players. It's very tempting, but other than my first pick, I tried to steer clear and pick some of those other guys who are sort of the studs on the teams that aren't Key West and Casper. So hopefully, that'll pay off. But so watching Odder on the ball, just about to swing it in every time, it makes you fairly nervous. Nice. Certainly plenty of possession from Casper.
Yeah, it's nice to see this higher level of possession than we're typically used to. Not a lot of hoof balls.
No, not after the first season. I swear the first few games of the very first season, literally everyone just played hoof the ball up the pitch and hope for the best. Oh, could have a breakaway though.
Oh, some nice little ball movement there.
Oh, that is some lovely passing.
Oh, there it is.
See,
Pookie is the
I knew I
How far
I
behind
knew I
are
picked
you? We
Pookie
got
for a
one there.
reason. Yeah, I'm probably a few seconds, a good 5 seconds behind you.
So Pookie, the first goal scorer, looking like the decision to break up the Madonka JQ pairing up front has paid dividends already.
Well, I thought I had to pick Pookie. You had to give him a chance, and I think he's a fairly similar player to JQ. So seemed to have worked. Getting the opening goal.
So 5 minutes in, we got a goal. What are we thinking? We thinking we got a high scoring one here?
Well, I just want to see how Casper react now. That's what's going to be key. If they can get one
Whoa,
back quickly. Oh, oh,
almost.
nearly. But you know, if Key West can get a second goal, then I think they could get their heads down, and that may be the end of them. That tends to happen quite a lot. Are we playing on a neutral field, or is it?
I believe so. Nope, we're playing in the Keys.
Oh,
But it is a friendly where the fans tend to play a bit less of a role.
yeah. Again, that first season, the fans just seem to dominate. They're slowly getting better. I think as players' sort of mental stats are improving, it means that the fans are playing less and less of a role.
Yeah, I believe in the first season, there wasn't a single team with a less than 500 record at home.
I can believe that.
This year, Brixton broke all sorts of records. Not the ones I want to break.
No, with their whole IA team, it's not surprising.
Although they may have cost Key West that title this year. I think there was a
We just,
15
we
draw,
just
wasn't there?
Yeah. We had a bad run there just towards the end, just at the wrong time. And sort of managed to right the ship, especially after we managed to beat Casper in the cup away. You know, it happened. Can't have the same team win every time.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting next season with the second division players all coming up. The merger between um, Mexico and Ushea. I don't even know how to say that city name. I've got a way
Oh,
in
I
my
did. I was
head.
leaving that one to you. I was leaving that one to you.
And then the addition to Paris. Paris is kind of pillaged some of the second division ex stars. Uh, and then Mexico or Malta
Yeah.
now has Jiggly's returned back to the Premier Division. So that'll be interesting to see if he can build a team up there.
Well, I think they certainly got closer this year, the other team. I know Mexico had a little run in the middle there. Malta, especially at the start, were looking strong, and they sort of just fell away. So hopefully this year or this coming season, it can be a bit more, and really put the pressure on Key West and Malta, Key West and Casper.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure as now there is some new blood and a lot of new blood coming onto Mexico. That has a lot of room to grow. I have a lot of faith in the tactical knowledge that's now come into the fold in Mexico. Um, Jiggly, you know, also, very familiar with the tactics side of things. So, um, and I have a personal affinity for the Paris management too. So it'll be
Yeah, well, I think
interesting. It'll
that.
be interesting. I think you'll start to see a lot more testing coming out of the other teams, and hopefully we can get the Warsaw situation settled, and we find them a good GM to support Phillies over there.
Yeah, well, I think GM pairings just work so well. I think Casper do it as well, just the same way we do in Key West, where one person's just running the back office and running the Discord, doing all the money and dealing with all the players, and then I sit there running all the tactics from having played Football Manager for more of my life than I really should have.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of us that probably wouldn't want to unveil our Steam game time played. It's sometimes it gets to
No,
be a pretty scary number.
yes, yeah. I think it's like I said. I think Football Manager 16 is the one that's terrifying for me.
Yeah, yeah. We all go through that phase. We all have that 15 or 20 or 30 or campaign that we go on, and
Yeah,
just eats up the time.
yeah. That was the one for me. That was the one with a giant campaign. That was the Sutton United to the Premiership campaign.
Yeah, yeah. I love just downloading the lower leagues and taking a team up from, you know, the the eighth level and just playing down in the slums for ages, just trying to get up there.
But I swear it's easier when you're really down at the bottom in the game. It's actually a lot easier to make your way up quickly. It just gets tougher as you go up.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple
The game sort of
superstars in the lower leagues can really
yeah,
fire you
that's
up
right.
for earnings.
You get a couple of bargains, a couple of star young players, and you can suddenly make a massive difference. Game settled down now, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's very even. A lot of action at both ends. Casper
Yeah.
having a hard time in the final third trying to actually get some action onto the net. It's been crickets down for I don't even know who's in net. O'Neill.
O'Neill's in goal.
So I mean, but it only takes one of those nasty free kicks to
Oh,
get
that's
the
right.
goal.
If Casper have Otter taking the free kicks, then we could be in trouble if they get one. Those curling balls are dangerous.
But I'm really enjoying the higher quality in this All Star game. There aren't any of those.
The passing's looking good.
Yeah, there
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
any of those mindless bots running around the field. The old 400 TPE guys just throwing the ball into the black hole.
Yeah, completely agree. The passing's looking pretty good.
Oh, this looks promising.
It
Oh,
does.
not very sporting there. It was a rough takedown for an All Star game.
Oh, leaving no prisoners.
So, any predictions for next season?
Oh, it's going to be tough to tell. I think Casper and Key West are so evenly balanced at the minute that it's just one or two games dropped seems to kill one team or the other. I think that's what happened to them in the first season. That happened to us last year, and with all the other teams getting better, it's going to make it even more difficult. Especially if everyone starts doing a bit more testing, then you're going to have to start trying to put in counter tactics and trying to work out what the other team's going to do, and then sort of try and counter what you guess they're going to put against you and things like that. So it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, the days of just trying to counter what they've got saved in the sim may go away, and you may have to start to try to anticipate the moves that they might make.
That's right. That's right. Try and work out what they're going to do to counter you, and then try and counter that counter. See how deep you can go.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see how much the home field starts to play a role in this third season. I think a lot of the more experienced players have started to realize the importance of the mental stats, and I think you're going to have a lot more players developing the decisions and the pressure and all that stuff. So it's going to
Well,
be
that was one
interesting
of
to
the big
see.
things. Yeah, one of the big things we had in Key West was we basically just told everyone get your decisions to at least 10, because when you're doing the little passes, you need decent decisions. Otherwise, you just have those stupid passes where they just give the ball to the opposition.
Yeah, and
So it's sort of one of our first
with
things.
the mental being so low, one bad decision leads to a goal, and that goal can lead to just absolute breakdowns.
Exactly, I think it's one of the most important stats in the game at the minute is that decision stats. Everyone should get their decisions to 10 as quickly as possible.
Yeah, it's uh, it's one of those things where the speed and the acceleration and the
Yeah,
finishing,
yeah, finishing.
they all look so delicious.
Oh,
But if you're not getting the balls on the field, you're not controlling the balls. I mean, we've seen it. I mean, we've got guys with close to 20 finishing, and they're not the guys that are leading the league in goals.
no, that's right. Because it's more than just finishing. You need that first touch and the composure and the decisions and all these sorts of things. There are plenty of websites there if you have a look, and they'll tell you what group of stats need to be put together for certain things, and it's generally quite a number of different stats go into just say finishing or heading goals, sorts of things.
Yeah, I tried to do the look up one of your favorite players and model around them, but then I looked up Stevie G and he pretty much had 18 in every single category. So, uh, you know, that was that. That was
Yeah, yeah.
that.
Just be good at everything. That's the answer.
Yeah, can't go wrong with that strategy. But I think it's really highlighting the the more balanced approach as opposed to min maxing your stats. I mean, I guess there are some you can hold off on the more the free kicks and the corner kicks and stuff and the
Oh yeah,
leadership
definitely.
game. But yeah, I think it's still a balanced approach is the seems to be the ticket right now.
Well, I think that's just the sim. That Football Manager. It's not something where you can have one stat and then you're the best. It's more complex than that.
So we're still at that one goal by Pookie is the difference here. I think we're seeing some pretty solid play. Not a lot of mistakes happening. Possession's been strong.
Quite a few offsides though for the Key West based team.
It's passes completed at 80%, 77% on the other side. I mean, that's a nice stat for sure.
Definitely. Key West still getting at that goal just a little bit more though. Like you said at the start, Casper just struggling to get it into that box to do something with it.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of midfield possession, but they seem to fizzle out at the end. I think goals is kind of lonely out there. I haven't seen the name pop up too much.
No, one of the things I did try to do when picking my players is I tried to get the two best centre backs in the game, as they're always just so important, just shutting down those top forwards. So hopefully that's worked dividends.
So I'm just looking at the bench players here. Anybody you're excited to see pop on for the second half?
Uh, well, well, we've got a complete different setup up front for Key West, so that's going to be interesting. I think it's also some of those. I think particularly like where you get Johnny Utah at right back, where he's such an attacking right back. He sort of just changes the games. He's one of those newfangled defenders that can't actually defend.
I'm interested to see the Shoko and Madonka combination where
Well, it won't be
they probably
Madonka.
play Uyghur.
Madonka's coming off. So
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
so it's just
yeah.
going to be Shogo and can't remember who our other striker was.
Del
I think
Sarte.
Shogo's going to be. Yeah, there you go. Yes, yeah. Desate's going up top, and then it's going to be Shogo going into the shadow striker role that Pookie currently has.
Yeah, that's an interesting. Del Sarte had a phenomenal last 7 or 8 games at the end of the season. There, I don't know how much you were following the second division, but he almost single-handedly brought whatever you call them from Argentina up to the top of the table. I think it came down to a single point at the end there, and they were a good dozen points behind at one point.
Yeah, no, I was just looking through all the players in the second. I didn't follow it too. Very good players in there. Because I mean, Jiggly's guy as well as Desarte is just absolutely top quality. I'm surprised he wasn't tearing it up more. I think he played himself out of position a fair bit.
Yeah, it was not a lot of service at the back from the East Tokyo team. Um, it was unfortunately all inactives and bot players at the back end for them. So again, without the service from the back, you don't tend to see too many balls up front.
No, no, it's one of the things that I think Key West have got right with the sort of foremost active players, the foremost forward players.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the biggest question mark for Paris next year. Is we did pick up Jay Brisky, which we're hoping if he comes back, he was a stud at the beginning and kind of fell off a bit on the inactive Brixton team. So we brought him in, and Mika Green, again another guy who skyrocketed up at the beginning and kind of fell off due to kind of an inactive team. So uh, we've got them both back for now. Hopefully they remain active and we can start to
Yeah,
you know press from there. But
uh,
again, it's that center defender role that's just so hard to fill. And I mean, you're seeing it in the new player auctions right now. I think the two, they're not even central
yeah.
defenders. They're
No, they're the
kind of
fullbacks, aren't
almost
they?
wing backs the way they've kind of built their players. But it's you can see the amount of money they're going for. I mean, I think Paris is pretty much out on those auctions. It's just pretty rich. We're kind of hoping for a bit of an influx of new players that we can spend our money on, and to be locked down to those big contracts. It's interesting for a wingback type position.
Definitely. I think our only really truly inactive player is one of our centre backs. So we sort of want to replace him. We're just lucky that Black is the captain. So he's his centre back and captain, and probably the best centre back in the entire league, just because he's one of the few active ones.
It's one of those things where it's a position where you don't get the glory necessarily, but you know you're a super valuable commodity. It's like the linemen in all the football American football sims.
That's right. Yeah.
You don't get that glory, but everybody's willing to throw the bank at you because you know you're so valuable.
Well, I think Black's got a fair few goals as well for us this year. Centre
Yeah,
backs
I
tend
mean,
to get
a
a
lot
few
of people
headers.
didn't focus so much on the header side of things. So I mean, if you put, some aerial ability and some headers, I mean, these central defenders can be dangerous.
Well, that's what I've tried to focus Mendonca with. Is just, especially in the first season, it worked so well because all the defenders were so poor. It just put lots into headers, and he's just the biggest guy up there. It's fallen off a bit in the second season just because everyone else has got a bit better.
Yeah, it's considering where the league's at now. I mean, the performance that Goals put on this year was pretty incredible. I think in the high 30s for goals in a 20 something game
Yeah.
season. I mean, it was pretty incredible.
It was, unfortunately.
Yep. Unfortunately, depending on who you're asking.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting as central defenders. Hopefully, we start to get some more actives in to see if the strategy that the builds for the strikers starts to change a little bit, because the that kind of secondary striker becomes a lot more important, because you don't get those breakaway goals and the easy headers and those type of things. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when you know the defensive side of the ball gets more important, and I think that's where tactics will really start to play, you know, into
Well, that's right. That's right.
yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're getting close now. I think you're getting players that are, almost at a, you know, professional level now. Not quite
Well,
perfect,
we
but
had the save. We had the save when Mendonca got called up to the England under-21 side. So
exactly. So I mean, yeah, they're getting there. They're getting there for sure. Yeah, I've had to retire a few players from international football. So I think there was about three or four. I mean, some of them for smaller countries, but yeah, we're getting close now.
yeah, well, it shows they go the players are getting better with the fact that they're having to retire them all.
Yeah, I kind of wish we when I set up the schedule that I had kind of put the international breaks in properly, because it would have been fun to kind of see the players go, not necessarily watch the games, but just kind of see who gets called up, when they get called up, what kind of stats they're putting up for their national team.
That would be good.
Especially since we clear all the fatigue and stuff anyways. So I mean, it would have been fun to kind of watch players progress through that. I mean, it's maybe something I could put a little bit of research into when we do the database rebuild after season 3.
Still only a single shot from Casper this game.
Yeah, the shot
I'll
total's
need
going
to.
up for Key West though.
None are really particularly dangerous, though, are they? There hasn't really been a huge chance. Yeah, all clear-cut chances to 0 for Key West, so that tells you everything.
Oh,
What sort of card is that going to be?
I think he got off a little easy there. That looked like he was beat.
Yeah, yeah, it did look like that was the last man. I guess he was high enough up the pitch.
O'Neill finally got a touch of the ball there. Well, the good news is, because the speed's up a little bit, our halves are only going to take us half an hour, not quite the full 40,
Oh, that's all
40
right.
minutes here. Oh, no. Benedetto sleeping in front of the net there.
Oh, that's poor first touch, that is. Pressure at the end of the first half, though. Casper certainly made more fouls.
Yep, absolutely. That's the joys of the Gegenpress with not quite perfect players.
You just kick the person instead of the ball. Oh, there you go. See these substitutions in. So it's going to be Johnny Utah and for Reno. And Vandersloot for Kerr. Yamagata for Pookie. Pays for Watermelony, I think. And yeah, Delsart for Mendonca. So here's the trouble of.
What am I doing wrong here?
Yeah, you need to. You just click on the Casper. Sorry, I'm pointing at my screen. That's not really helping you. The Casper little Casper badge, I think, and then you go to. And then go to tactics.
All right.
Yeah, cap. Didn't see much of JQ then. At half, I should say.
And Terra America.
Then I imagine Terra's going to Patreon, who's his yellow card.
I don't think I submitted yours. Hold on. Oh, here we go. That wasn't there last
Yeah,
time.
it's pending. So they'll kick off and then they'll suddenly substitute everybody else.
We'll give the starters one last chance to put something in the net.
Make a difference.
And
let's get it down the other end and to Mendonca. No.
Now do we just pray for no injuries?
Yeah.
Or we might have the upper playing striker. Well, there's
Guinness,
right off the bat.
Yeah. Key West defence is blocking them out. Sloth against his current team.
Yeah, Sloth has been a guy who really came on in the second half of the season when his activity levels kind of started to pick up a bit more. Nice little grab for O'Neill there.
Definitely. Well, that's another shot though on target, at least for Casper.
There's a lot of speedy
It's
people out
lovely.
there, but sometimes some players just look a little bit faster.
Just how well they can control the ball while they're running. Some of them just seem to just run into nothing and give it away. Oh,
A much rougher side from Casper here. It's shown in the fouls.
oh, there you go. It's Key West's first corner as well. That'll be Delacroix taking it. Of course, no Mendonca left on the pitch for the corners.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see Del Sarte in the second half. I think that's a player with a lot of promise, a lot of activity. Usually kicking around the Discord chat.
Let's see what he can do.
You got one of Paris's bright stars and Harper Salter as well. I'm excited to see a few Paris guys running around the field.
Well, when we were doing the picking, we were trying to make sure that we tried to pick up the stars of the Division
Oh.
2 as well. Offside.
I don't know where that came from. That was
That was very much offside. How many? 4 players offside there?
Yep, 4 players.
I think Casper might be playing an offside trap.
It's always nice to have someone like Sidney Ramirez in the middle of your line, kind of.
Yeah, well, he's another one of these rare, active, good central defenders. Same with Black and Kurabali, the other guy that we've got that I picked up. That's normally in Mexico, I think. I think they're
Yeah.
sort of like the 3 acts, tippy top centre backs.
It's funny to see how the league's evolved. Some of the guys who look like early favorites to kind of get up to that legendary status. I remember, you know, JJ Okocha kind of legendary during those kind of initial tournaments. And
Well, it's that whole Brixton team. They were the favourites.
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you even had now you have goals. I think he's a season 2 create, and already kind
Yeah, I
of
think halfway
skyrocketed
through,
up
wasn't he? Yeah.
the charts there.
Again, just a Key West defence, just winning those dead balls.
It's it's just getting that feeling that something's about to happen for Key West here. There's been a few of those kind of speedy
Well, unfortunately,
counterattacks.
unfortunately, Casper they've got Eric. Who is it? Erikanen, who's just the only max earning goalkeeper, I think, at least the very best goalkeeper in the entire league. So can really make a real difference.
Yeah, I think that's a big reason Casper did what they did. I mean, to not give up those weak kind of goals. I think they went sometimes stretches 2 3 games without even a goal against them.
Mm.
and then you get a team
Mm.
like Malta or Mexico. You give up a goal early to a team like Brixton even, and all of a sudden, you're fighting that uphill battle the whole time because you let in a weak goal. So Casper's possession numbers are actually kind of rising here. They're up to almost 60%. Just
They've had more possession, haven't they? This I think the whole game they sort of had more possession. A lot of it's been in that a lot of it's been in that middle of the park sort of area. I guess that's the gegenpress, isn't it? Yeah, there you go. So it's all Casper's possessions largely coming from that middle of that middle part of the pitch.
For both teams, surprisingly, actually, it's a lot of action up the middle.
Well, again, Casper's attacking and can't get to the goalkeeper, even can't get through that defence.
And yeah, Casper kind of coming down the wings most of the time. And then
yeah,
Key West really coming down the wings.
Yeah, Key West coming all the way down the right with Delacour.
So Key West now at 11 shots, still just the one clear-cut chance. Casper just struggling to put something on net here.
Yes, the game seems to have died down a little bit again. Let's see if sort of started with a bang again in that started that second half and has calmed down a touch. Key West struggling to string all the passes together now.
Yeah, you can tell the loss of those 5 starters has just a slight decrease in quality just makes such a difference.
Chance now.
It's interesting the header stat down there. 73% of headers won for Key West and just under 40% for Casper. It's a lot of aerial dominance.
Well, that's all coming from the Key West defence. That's all those free kicks floated in and just headed straight out.
And that makes a big difference when the whole game seems to be played from the wings.
Well, I think as players get better, you just need more stats for those middle players, for those central midfielders, and especially sort of like the attacking central midfielders. So as the seasons go on, I think the central midfielders and attacking central midfielders that sort of stick at it are just going to get better and better and become more and more important. There's been such a huge jump for people like JQ from season 1 to season 2. I think we're going to see that again.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, especially the Paris midfielder that we got playing in this game here.
JQ, the ball now is fairly terrifying.
Oh, there was a few runs during the season he took from almost box to
Exactly.
box through the whole team, and it was pretty scary whenever he had the ball.
I think that's just the stats. He's got his stats up now to a point where he can suddenly just do that sort of thing.
So we got about 25 minutes game time left here. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, like I said, Football Manager's a cruel mistress. It's one free kick and we
Oh
got a
yeah,
tie game.
yeah. One penalty, especially for in these sorts of games.
There's another one of my Paris guys, Adrian White. He had leading goal scorer down in the second division.
Sharp disposing, getting the ball off his teammate Q.
Oh, I think this would have been a different
Again,
game if the goaltending situation was different. He's been pretty steady. I mean, that's a goal on most goalkeepers right there.
that's right. It's a solid goalkeeper.
I think one guy to watch in net though for sure is O'Neill, of course. I mean, I think he was the stud
Mm,
rookie this year, and then even Caboose has had a pretty big reemergence in Malta.
definitely. That's why I've got Neil in the team. He's just been so solid for the small amount of time he's been here that he's really just built himself up so quickly. Makes such a difference for those goalkeepers.
I noticed the last auction there had a goalkeeper in it, and there was no action from Key West. Any strategy there?
Well,
You
we've got Nets who's sort of semi-active at the minute, so he can sort of he pops in and out, and I'm in other sim leagues with him, so we can normally get a decent GPE. He gets a bitter season, so sort of 3 seasons in now, he's built up a fair amount and he's sort of still going. So we're just trying to aim our money in the right places. We picked up a new central midfielder, and we're sort of just looking for that centre back. And then I think we're fairly set, and hopefully everyone's spent all their money on those two defenders that are going. So if a centre back does come up, we might be able to snag one.
I think we had a pretty good influx today of new Discord people. Hopefully, a few of those are new creates coming up through the ranks here. Oh, there it is.
There you go.
We have a
And it was a
game.
defensive mistake. Defensive mistake led to it as well.
Yeah, that is the one guy you do not want to make the mistake to.
No.
I
The
believe.
Tillingham?
Yep, I believe the league leader in TPE at this point, or at least very close to it. It kind of varies from week to week.
Yes, yeah, it's between him and Vesper's goalkeeper.
Yeah, there's a big opportunity these next couple weeks to put on a few points here with the off-season training camps and the newly launched new player tasks, which
Oh yeah, I
you're gonna
think a
see
lot
a
of
few
people are
guys with
already.
120, 130 point updates this week.
Yes, yeah, I think I've already been sort of working out what I'm going to do with all my. Going to be going into some of those more of those mental stats that the ones that sort of been left behind, things like vision and teamwork that actually probably make a bigger difference than we appreciate.
Well, from a Paris player, I hope you picked the wrong ones. Oh, oh, I think that might have hit the post.
Yeah, it certainly looked like it, didn't it? I don't think that was a save.
So I don't think we're gonna get extra time or penalties. I think if it's a tie, it's a tie.
Penalties would have been good. We almost had it in the cup final.
Yeah, that was a surprising result to be honest. I thought Warsaw had a phenomenal game. You know, they wow, that is something I've never seen right there. That was a strange one, but stuck on the goal on the corner flag.
I was going to say, did it hit the corner?
But yeah, that was quite the the cup final there. You know, I didn't have a horse in the race, but I actually enjoyed. I was on the edge of my seat a few times for that one.
Yes, yeah, Warsaw just couldn't keep it up. Key West had plenty of pressure that game as well and plenty of shots, and I think in the end it told.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where you would have been scratching your head at the end of the game. I think if Warsaw pulled it off, but I mean, if it gets to penalties, I mean, it's there's only usually one or two players on each team at the most that have actually put any points into penalties. So it's uh, it's really luck of the draw at that point. Oh,
Yes. Well, that was a clear-cut chance there.
yeah, just a couple inches over the bar there from Del Sarte. I think if this ends in a draw, we might have to do a rubber match sometime during the week. Maybe not a full 90 minutes, but a little rubber match. I don't think any of the fans want to not have a conclusion to this one.
Well, the minute I think it almost looks like Casper are more likely to score than Key West in this. And they're looking more threatening up front now.
Yeah, it's still not quite finishing. I mean, we've got those two shots now, the one from the first half and the goal in the second half. So it's
Tells you everything. 14 shots against 4.
but yeah, you're right into saying that they're looking a little bit more dangerous.
I think Key West's problem is the tactics are still set to hit everything at the target man, but unfortunately the target man's not Mendonca anymore, so the heading isn't quite there.
That midfield triangle seems to be working out nicely now.
Some beautiful passing.
I really have always
Tiki-taki.
liked Sofia Delacour's build. I think fun to watch for sure.
West Coast
Oh,
cuts him from the...
Del Sarte, the second division player,
There
caught
we
out.
go. Well, like I said, we've got Key West set piece tactics as well, which again are chuck everything at the big man on the back post. Delacour's been building up her corners this season, so got a decent corner on it now.
Oh.
Surprisingly few yellow cards, though. I mean, 2 isn't a great deal.
Especially not
Especially after that.
not exactly in line with what we were seeing during the season.
No, that's right. And that cup final match, literally, when I tested it, every single time I tested it, you seem to get at least half a dozen yellow cards in it.
I think in the first season, Casper had something like 7 red cards. I mean, for a 20-game season.
Key West really threatening there again.
Oh, could have been a penalty.
Q.
Great defensive
Oof.
play.
Kept the ball in as well. That was the impressive thing.
Oh.
Counter followed by counter. Oh, people are getting tired. Players getting tired, and it's silly fouls.
Put a lot of points into my free kicks, and I haven't seen much payback for it yet. I don't think. I think I maybe scored 1 off a free kick this year.
You need it in those. It's one of those things again. You need it more than free kicks, don't you? It's free kicks, long shots, composure. So all these sorts of things that all go into it.
Yeah, it's a tough build in the central midfielder role. It's a lot of different stuff you need to be effective.
Oh yeah, it really is. That's what like we were saying. It's probably the role you need the most TPE to get a really good player in. It is that central midfield and attacking central midfield roles. But once you get someone there, then teams can really dominate. That's what I always found for years playing Football Manager, that you want the best player. The best player on your team should be your sort of attacking central midfielder. That's where you want to invest all your money.
Yeah, it really creates that linkage.
Yeah, well, they're just a creative player. They create all the goals, just link everything together.
We got about 5 minutes left to go here. Couple more opportunities for Casper lately. Couple very dangerous players, although perhaps the most dangerous of all has been pretty invisible this game.
Well, yeah, it's that Key West too. The Key West centre back pairing has just been dominant this game. It's that, and the Casper goalkeeper is just, well, he's had 11 shots on target at it. He's been busy.
Oh, that is something we see way too much. That just stand there with the ball and wait for somebody to peel it off. Yeah.
Especially when it's JQ.
Yes.
He's very good at doing that.
Little battle between teammates there. Yeah, it is fun to see some of the players who weren't necessarily on the best teams get to have some action with some of the league's best.
That's what this sort of match is all about. And funnily enough, there's not been no goal from Mendonca, and probably going to jinx it now, but there's been no goal for Roos so far either.
And to be fair, not even really an opportunity gone begging.
No, not really for either of them.
But I think if anything, this is really showing the importance of a good defense.
Good defence, good goalkeeper. Key West have all that time in the world to pass it around.
So we're just heading into bonus time here. We're at 3 minutes additional time. Key West seems happy to just kind of hang on to the ball and.
Oh, that's the sim for you. That's what it always does when you're in the lead and you're in extra time. It just players just pass it around. To be fair, it's what they do. It's what they do in a match as well. Just don't want to lose that ball.
Although I still think my favorite is when you got a team down 1 goal and you got a guy standing over a free kick and just time wasting when he's down a goal. You see that a little bit too much. It always makes me laugh. This could be dangerous.
This could be very dangerous. Johnny Utah giving it away. Again, it's those centre backs winning all those headers.
The number actually has come up though a little bit. I think we were at 80 and 30, and now it's a 70.
We were, yeah. Yeah, 68 and 47. They've improved, but
one last chance it looks like here.
yeah.
Oh.
Cynical tackle there.
And I think
There
that's
we go.
right
That's
there.
the end. Yeah, that'll be it.
Overall, a pretty good game. Our player of the match actually coming off of the losing team.
It's the Coulier, the centre back with a 7.4 rating on Key West, just shows you just won everything in the air.
Yeah, that's for a central defender, 7.4 rating is definitely nothing to bat an eye at. Let me just see
And then Delacour,
goals. You know, such high expectations comes out in 6.4 rating.
yeah.
You know, and he gets blamed for one of the goals. So
And 2 assists for Delacour. So there you go.
That brings the game to an end. Thanks a lot for joining me on the sim. It was fun to have somebody to chat with while we watch this, and hopefully we can pick a few games every once in a while to do this for.
No, that sounds great. That sounds great. No, cheers.
All right, have a
good
good
night.
night, and thanks everybody who did tune in. And this will be up on YouTube tomorrow.